Good evening, Sean.
Evening, Dave.
How are you
Happy
doing?
New
Happy
Year.
New Year! Happy New Year, everyone. How you doing, Sean?
Good. Good.
Good. Yeah, I hope
Good.
everyone's good as well in that kind of muted British good way,
Yeah.
which is really just papering over the cracks of
Yeah.
how not
As I said
good.
it, I was like, I'm not even convinced by the way I'm saying this.
That's fair enough. That's fair enough. So
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, what can you say? What can you
I, I,
say?
I feel like
Legally.
that train is on fire. Like that's a pretty good description of how I'm feeling right now.
You're right. Yes, you're right. The train is definitely on fire. There are monsters on it, and we're going to do our best to, plow through
Nice. I guess.
the shitstorm. Yeah, I assumed
Do you know
like
what? Like,
we'd do train puns. I assumed we'd do that.
yeah. You've said plow through.
Mm.
I have had a week of slipping over while walking my dog, and it's sucked.
Ooh,
I can't
okay.
stand. I thought this year with the lockdown, that like the fear of snow would go,
Mm.
the fear of ice, but no, like just taking my dog for a walk, I fell over and yeah, like hurt the one good knee I had.
Oh, jeez.
Um,
Okay.
yeah,
I mean, are you
but
going to
anyway,
have to go out in kind of like snowshoes or
well, I'm
like?
gonna wait until the ice melts. That's the trick.
There we go, ladies and gentlemen. Learnings here from the Pillbug team. Just wait a little bit longer, and the ice will melt.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Hopefully that lasts. Hopefully that works going forward, and we don't have any worse weather. I have a feeling January is going to be really cold. I don't know why. Don't know why.
So it's a good job this train's on fire.
Yeah, exactly. They're warm whilst the rest of the thing is cold. Now, I've apologized. I'm in the menu screen, so we've missed the cinematic that explains the really complex story behind this game, which is Snowpiercer meets Heaven and Hell battle,
Cool.
right? Okay, so
Yeah.
I don't know, Snowpiercer meets Constantine or whatever. But it's, this is Monster Train. We're about 6 months behind the curve as ever with people streaming up-to-date games. So people streamed the hell out of this game when it first dropped. I have no idea if people are still streaming this. Probably not. But
Well, it's on Game Pass, so maybe.
so maybe a whole batch of people like us have just randomly picked it up to stream. But it was one of those games where I think, Sean, you said when you saw it, you thought, oh, Dave's going to like that. You were not the only friend of mine who was like, have you checked out Monster Train yet? So I haven't even finished a single run here because I just thought, like, I know this game already, basically. I feel like confident that I can walk us through this whilst also give that, oh, I haven't seen that yet, or oh, that mechanic's interesting. So I'm just going to get us going because it's like I'm not even going to resume this active run. I'm just going to start a new one because I didn't exactly achieve a lot with that run. I didn't get to do this before, so I get to choose a primary clan. Yeah. Oh, I see. So like, there's like some angry demon guys. This is the one you kind of just get loaded into to begin with.
Right.
And then there's these guys who are like plant dudes who I was randomly getting bits of. People in there. Cards in there to begin with. Do let me know if the sound's a bit loud. I've got it on low, but we'll see how it goes.
Okay.
So.
How did you find streaming Game Pass game? Like they tend to be. Is this using like the Windows weirdness?
I don't know. I haven't. I don't know. Does it seem okay so far?
I just like I that's the weird thing about Game Pass is because it uses the Xbox app, right?
Okay. Yeah. Well, right. I mean, I booted it from desktop, so
yeah.
Evening Nacho.
Nacho.
So I'm gonna go with like we're just gonna do the Awoken and the Allied and the other guys, and we're just gonna get going. Gonna get that train going. Okay, so these are some stuff. Like, just get on with it. Like that, no one needs to see this. So, this is the map screen for whatever game this is, Monster Train. And it's like the Slay the Spire. Like, people have obviously seen a lot of Slay the Spire. We streamed it a little while ago. So like I feel like this game and many games like it are just kind of, they are deck building clones. Like, I mean, I'm not going to suggest Slay the Spire was like the OG or anything of that kind of game, but what this game does is it just takes it and says, I'm going to make everything pretty, you know, because like that's.
Do you have much in the way of choice there, or is it just two choices each?
Yeah, no, like everything just seems to be two, doesn't it? So in that sense, Slay the Spire kind of felt like you had more choice, I suppose, with the map screen. I don't know if that's technically, like, if you really did, but yeah, it does seem like every node,
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Every node is just kind of like one choice by the looks of it. So okay, so it's a very pretty, you know, very cartoonish style. You know, I know not everyone's into that kind of thing, but I don't mind it. So you get to, like, one of the things I'm not 100% sure about yet, because I haven't played this game that much, is like if I click on one of these and get it, so either upgrade my champion card, which is nice, or gain an artifact, which is also very nice. If I get to do the other one. So you don't
know.
I don't know if I do. So this doesn't, to me, this doesn't look like a choice. This means like
no, it looks like you're going to come across that one on the left first.
Yeah. So like let's click that one first and see what happens.
Yeah.
So I get to upgrade my champion card, which we haven't even seen yet. Like, I haven't even fought with it yet.
God, that is really Hearthstone, isn't it?
It is. Yeah. It is quite cartoony. I mean, there's only so many ways to design what is essentially a card, right? Like, you know, there's a finite number of things.
That's really Hearthstone, though, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so. Like, again, it's the same cartoony look as WoW and the World of Warcraft kind of in universe, and then cards. You know, fair enough. That's, Hearthstone. So again, it's probably not that surprising that I quite like this. Like, this is my kind of jam. So okay, so it does look like I get to have both my cake and eat it.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
I quite like this one. So, and then you get into a battle, like, and this is where the game starts to kind of like maybe get a little bit more interesting for people. So it tells you about the enemies, which is nice. Like, you can get some juicy info on that. Obviously, that's not going to mean much to the people at home, but you know, you can take a look at that as well. There's a lot of information on the screen that I haven't really bothered to engage with. Like, it tells you like lots of stuff, blah blah blah. And this is useful. Just kind of gives you some information about maybe what, you know, the general tactic for this war band that you're going to encounter. And then this is interesting. You can make the fight harder for an additional reward, right? Okay.
Yeah.
So we'll just start things off nice and easy though. So this is our monster train, everyone. Monster train, yay! We're on a train. So the train, a bit like in America, has multiple vertical layers. For us Brits, this is a little difficult to get our small minds round, because like our trains only have one floor, but the Yanks, I'm sure, will be totally fine with this. So you can go up floors, right? And this is the heart of your train. This is the pious shard, which is keeping the train going, basically. As you see in the background, it's flying past.
It's a steam engine?
Fire combustion engine, whatever. So and the heart does fight, and it has a life there, so that you know, it can die. I haven't had that yet, but I'm sure it's only a matter of time. The enemies normally come through the bottom layer here, and at the end of a round, so I'll play cards, they'll fight, and they'll then leg it up here to the next layer. So they'll keep kind of streaming up. So it's kind of like Slay the Spire meets a tower defense game. These pips at the top of the cards here equate to the floor capacity, so you can only have like 5 pips worth of people. So if I just like throw this train steward out here, right, he just jumps in there, and that's 2 of my pips. Okay, so that, like, you got a limit, but I can drop like cards and stuff on other pit floors ahead of time if I'm pipless or whatever. And then, so that's the pip system, which is kind of one of the more interesting things. Obviously, everything always has a cost when playing cards. So this is like in the top left, here's your mana cost or whatever you want to call it, which is your embers here. And here's your deck, and here's your discard pile, and blah, 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 blah. And these people all do stuff, right? They all have effects. So I'm going to shoot the healer, because you always want to kill the healer. Get that guy out of there. The way these things work is that like you kind of deploy them to places on your train.
Yeah.
This arrow feels very reminiscent of Slay the Spire. It's just like the same kind of juicy arrow system. And like it does matter which side you go on, and I haven't played with this champion, so I might balls that up by having her.
Is a champion? So what's the deal with the champion? Is that
they're like they're your best card to start with, basically.
Okay.
So what I probably
do you always start with your champion in your hand?
No, I don't. No, you don't. No. So I got lucky there, but my deck's not very big. As you increase your deck size, obviously that means you're more than likely. So if I cultivate triggers, cultivate increase the. Okay, so her cultivate is basically when you heal this person. Then it is going to increase the attack and health of the friendly unit with the lowest health of the cultivate value. So I think this will work. I'll pop this here, and then maybe that will increase this guy. I don't know. Maybe I balls that up. I'm still getting used to that system. So they then. Okay, so yeah, that didn't work so great. So then I get these guys here. And this little collector fella, he kind of like legs it if you don't kill him straight away, but he gives you gold.
Is that like in Diablo, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, good shout.
What's it called?
I can't remember, but I know what you mean.
Yeah, the treasure goblin.
Treasure, yeah, like treasure imp. I want to say imp. So we're gonna zap that guy, obviously. So there we go. We get some gold there. I'm gonna pop a steward up here. I'm going to shoot this guy, and we're going to continue to perhaps not be doing things that great up here. Because my champion just doesn't seem to be doing. I think what I need to do is put my champion at the front, so I've balls that positioning up. But this guy's going to die soon anyway, so.
Which guy's going?
The guy at the front. Sorry, you can see he's got his health here is 2 out of 8.
Right. Okay.
Health there. But there's no one coming through, so he's going to survive a little bit. And I've got all these healing potions, which is a bit awkward because I want him to die so that my sentient goes to the front.
So the cards, like I guess the cut, not. Would you still call them cards? The characters that are actually out there on the ones you've placed, you still refer to them as cards?
I guess you could, couldn't you? Yeah. I don't see why you wouldn't. Yeah.
Did you actually get to attack with them, or?
No, that's all kind of automated, basically. Or unless you've got any reason, like any rules to say otherwise, the enemy always attacks first, right? So they're just kind of doing.
So this is where the tower defense comes in.
Yeah.
They're almost like towers.
Yes. Yeah. That's yes. You once they're in the game, that's much a better, easier way to think about it. Is that they are more like towers.
Yeah, Dave's got. I didn't notice that. So you lose your whole hand, do you?
So like in deck building, it kind of, you discard it at the end of the turn and it cycles back through. So your discard pile is here, and it goes back into your draw pile once.
So that's the same as Slay the Spire, is it?
Yeah, and the same as something like Dominion or any other kind of deck building game. So the weird thing is, like we're at the end, like the boss fight for this particular, the boss part of this particular encounter. So what these guys do differently is that, like, they will fight till someone dies on this, till everybody's dead on this layer. Okay, so you lose your tower, your levels of towers as you go up. So this guy, I mean, I'm not in great shape actually, because this guy's going to kill my champion, and I'm not going to get anything. So there's an argument here to kill my own guy, because I ballsed up the positioning. I know it's not an ideal.
It's kind of cool you can do that.
Yes, yeah. And there might well be, like, damaging your own guy probably does have some, like, maybe even damaging this guy might be better. But I think killing this guy and then putting a steward behind this guy. Yeah, I mean, suddenly, like...
like, I don't want to work for you anymore. Like, this is like, what do you do? Like, you just like kill the guy in the front.
Kill the guy in the front, yeah, because I made a mistake. But what's interesting, right? So I haven't pointed this out yet, but what the game does...
You're in charge, you can make the hard decisions, right?
Exactly. And you know what? It's paid off for the whole train. You know, it's the whole Snowpiercer problem again. Is like the combat is quote unquote telegraphed on these little discs above the health, right? And before I zapped my own guy, my guys were showing the red X, which means they die, right?
Yeah.
And then now you can see that their boss is showing that he's gonna die.
Yeah.
Right. So like what I just did there completely flipped this whole fight by killing my own guy. So I'm kind of justifying my own managerial choice there. But we'll see it work out in a sec. I'll torch this guy as well.
Compared to some of the things that you've had to go at me for doing on previous streams, like actually killing your own guy for the greater good feels like that's the worst.
It does feel the worst. But let's watch it work out. Because then I feel slightly justified. Because it will also show me how my hero actually is supposed to work, right? Like, so he works by taking a bunch of hits and then buffing up the guy behind him, right?
Yeah. I see. So there's the guy. Okay, right. So can you explain to us then, like, what? How is this? They're all jumping in front of each other and fighting.
Yeah. So
like positioning is important just for that buff that you just said, or
so
like
the way it works, which I knew, but I didn't realize how quite important it was for that particular champion, is the other side, friend or foe, has to attack the person in front. In front of the thing. So yeah, like you say, you can walk past friends, but you can't walk past foes in that sense, right?
I see. Yeah.
So like having my big tanky dude, who I didn't realize was a big tank, at the front was what was necessary, because he helped the guy behind him.
Yeah.
Cool. So there we go. So we won our first encounter. We get some score points, some coins, and some packs of cards, right? Which is basically just now I get to choose some cards. Okay, so this is when you start working into the deck building side of the game.
Yeah. Sure.
So we got anytime a card is free, always my ooh, that's exciting for me. Like I'm down with that, because you get to play that card for free, and that's just good card game economy, right? And I mean, I'm simplifying some pretty complicated. Free is good is fairly simple, but why it's good and why it can be too much of a bad thing in card games is a fairly nuanced discussion. But I'm definitely going to choose one of these free ones. You've got like a consume card here, which means it can only be played once per battle. So like if you played any other deck building games, they're often removed from the game piles or whatever. So like that. How much of this do you want me to explain, Sean? Or by the way, because like
I explain what you're thinking.
Okay.
Like go through your thoughts and kind of
Okay. So I don't. Yeah. Like so, I'm free is good, as I've said. I don't think dealing 3 damage versus dealing 10. Obviously, that's kind of a no-brainer, which is better, right? But this has a stipulation about front enemy unit, and the tanks tend to be at the front. So that's a bit, that's not as good as it looks. But the draw +1 next turn is super spicy, so I'm excited about that. Moving units to the front can be really good, but again,
you could not like. Oh no, moving the enemy units to the front, right?
Exactly.
As opposed to like damage, like I suppose that would have been slightly less bad than killing that guy.
Yeah.
You could have done it on your own. That would be a way of changing the order of your own people. But then you're damaged.
Yeah. But you're right. Like it's super techy to kind of mess around with their lineups. So these seem like both really good options to me. Again, because they're free for a start. I'm gonna trust my gut and go with the one that gets me an extra card the following turn. Because I like that a lot. So this is the other clan. So you notice I chose the clans.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
So this is the other clan plan. So you get an allied clan.
It's kind of like you're making a mixed energy deck or something, right?
Yeah, and like I'm assuming like there were many clans to unlock, so I'm guessing that's like, that's great. You can I'm sure that will give like a ton of play, I'm sure. But this is just at the start, so like I'm at the early part of the meta game, as it were. So that's an X spell, that's fine. This gives an armor to a friendly unit, and this deals 5 damage. I feel like I'm going to be quite tanky anyway with the living clan thing. Like their plants seem to be quite tanky, so I don't think I need a welder. So I'm going to take the molten imp to deal some damage when he gets summoned.
Yeah.
Okay, so now I get to choose kind of Merchant of Steel, Merchant of Magic. So Steel is forge units, and Merchant of Magic is forge spells. So that's slightly different there. And then gain an Awoken unit or gain a Hellhorn, which is like allies or my base clan. So I'm going to go this way.
Oh, that's cool. That's neat.
I could have gone the other way. Like, there's no necessarily any bad reason for going that, but I like the Awoken. I want to see more of the Awoken units anyway. So we're going to
click on the bottom first. See if you. Oh, good. Don't worry.
Sorry, you want me to click on the bottom one first?
See if there's any meaning to that.
I think they're probably
decision. Like, you might have an advantage of knowing what the result of one is before you do the other.
I think you would, yeah. And I think actually looking at this, I think you again, I don't know, but I think I probably did it the wrong way around. Like, it probably would have been better to get a new card from the bottom one, and it might have been then upgraded here. So this is the random cat shop. So there's that, which is nice. Usual deck building stuff. You can remove cards. You can pay to change these if you don't like them. It seems a bit pricey to me, but and then you get these like card upgrades. So I'm definitely going to buy this one because this is spicy. Making something free. So I think we're going to make one of these torches free. Or no, let's make one of the restores free, because I think these are slightly better than torch. So now it's free, it's much better. And in fact, I'm going to remove a torch. Train steward or torch? Let's get rid of it. I've added a spell so far that was damage, which was sting. So yeah, let's get rid of a torch. So I always like removing cards in deck building games. Not everybody is into that quite so much. I'm not going to spend all my gold, but I love getting rid of cards I don't want.
But yeah, it's a really interesting thing of like saying that actually you want less cards. Like it feels such an anti thing to do, is to get rid of cards. Like an anti, you want more, right? That's the bigger numbers are always better. But yeah.
Yes, I mean, I guess.
The Gathering, right? I think that's what I always never quite got right, was figuring out like the probabilities of like having these that side of it, right? That side of like how many cards have I got in total? Was there a set? Like, such a long time since I played Magic. Like, was there a set number of cards? Or was it like a
Well, no, but
value kind of like.
So you can only have a certain number of each individual card, right? Which I'm pretty sure for Magic it was 3. It's been a while for me for Magic as well. But yeah, they like with a lot of these games they have like a minimum deck size. So for Magic that was 60. But you can go over that, and there are some situations where you want to, but most competitive situations you want to be at the minimum, because it's like it's a bit. I mean, I don't think there's really a real world analogy for it, and there must be. But basically, you want to get the things that you want as consistently as possible, and there's not enough redundancy in the game to just jam 200 cards together and like it then do what you want it to. Unless what you want it to do is just have fun, in which case, of course, you're just going to manage that. I'm gonna take this guy. I like this. This guy is interesting. Like these hollow dudes, they come in with a bunch of damaged health on them. Like, I'll show you when we get to it, which we will, because I think they're an interesting mechanic. They're more interesting than some of these other options, I think. As I apply enemy on each floor, I mean that's pretty crazy. I'm not quite confident enough in our deck yet to do any of those extra trials. Okay, so unfortunately we've got like two tanky fellas.
I'm just like I'm now talking to Dave stuff mentioning, you know, everyone mentioning magic is like, I used to have card protectors for my magic cards.
Don't even talk to me, dude. Like I was deep into CCGs, like in ways you wouldn't even believe. So yeah.
How much cards can be worth?
Oh yeah, like
unbox Pokemon cards, like getting a pack of like rare Pokemon cards and opening them, and maybe you get like Pikachu or some shit. Like,
I mean, like, yeah. Again, as I said, I am.
I have a bunch of Pokemon cards somewhere that like I play Pokemon.
It's a good game system, man. Like people don't necessarily appreciate like the game system on Pokemon's actually fairly legit.
I played that before Magic, and then like I don't know what. I guess I played it because I like Pokemon. Like,
yeah,
that's how I got into it, and yeah, I think it was just that me and Joe, my wife, we used to do a thing where we would, when we were in uni and when eBay didn't suck, we would go to a car boot and do like a, what's that show where they all go and buy antiques and then sell them for more money? What's it called?
Like bargain hunt.
Yeah, bargain hunt. So we used to do that, and like every year when we went home for the summer, my parents are, there were like car boots, so we'd all be like, right, okay, we've got a tenner to spend in this car boot, and then sell on eBay to see who can make the most profit from £10 at a car. And then like I think once I bought a bunch of Pokemon cards and was like, actually I want to play these. Yeah, before you know it, whole bunch of Pokemon cards.
Nothing wrong with that, buddy. Nothing wrong with that.
Ah, the Star Wars card game. No, so Dave Stuff mentioned the Star Wars card game.
Yeah.
The living card game I had. Living card game.
Living card games. I think LCGs. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a long time ago. I had the starter set, but I don't think I really or my mum and dad bought it for me. Didn't really understand what a living card game was.
Fair enough.
But I did play it a bit. But anyway.
I went really deep into the living card game for Arkham Horror.
Yeah.
Oh, that was good. That was good. Yeah, quite. I don't want any of these cards, so I'm gonna skip. Get some gold.
How did you find? So one thing about Slay the Spire that really like set it apart for me was the UI was just flipping on point, and like I knew everything that was going on when it was like I knew everything. They had very good, like, I guess iconography would be one way of saying it. And like you said about like telegraphing stuff here, do you find similarly in this you understand what's going on?
Yeah, yes, definitely. I feel. Let's get another fella here. Yeah. I mean, to me, like, again, I don't know if it's because CC card games like this are just like so like my comfort zone. But yeah, like I didn't like the tutorial. There wasn't really much of a tutorial, but I didn't really feel I needed.
Yeah, it does seem to be a thing, right? Like I'm trying. Like it's definitely become. I don't know what I was trying to say, but like I always think about that is like how much of this assumes you know about card games. Like I don't know, like something I guess we think about, or maybe we don't, or we do. Like this idea of genres and being a very clear like. You can tell what this game is by the fact they've met. I wasn't trying to be like. I hope I didn't come across as being like funny about the fact it looks like Hearthstone, the cards. Like, there's a
Hmm.
reason to do that, right? There's a very good reason to make the cards look like Hearthstone, which is to make it clear, hey, everyone, this is a card game.
Yeah.
But one of those, like, and here you can see it's one of those. Like, for us in making a home, it was like making a blueprint mode. So there's like literally a blueprint you can see that's like, hey, it's a vehicle building game. So yeah, like, do they have to stick? Like, how much do they have to really stick to the formula? And
It's a good question. They don't have to, but like, it's such a tried and tested formula, right? Like, it's. Oh my god, did they? How rude! She moved my men around. I mean, she could do that. And we know that causes me problems, Sean. Let's drop.
the other thing I keep kind of thinking about with this is a more kind of like, I guess, production thing.
Oh yeah.
Where like the art. So it's something like we often think about, I think, is like how you get art into a game. And this feels to me, and like I am pleased, like people argue with me if and tell me I'm wrong or whatever, but to me this looks like almost like concept art that is being animated. Like, did the person that drew this do the animation? I guess is my question here, because it feels like because it feels like that's like a piece of concept art that then someone has kind of broken up and animated.
Okay. Yeah.
Is that unfair? Do you kind of see what I'm saying?
I mean, you saw the Slay the Spire animation, right? Like, there's Sorry, I'm just trying to think if I want to do anything here. This guy gets stronger for each spell I play here, which is kind of annoying because what I want to do is play a bunch of spells here.
Yeah, I think Dave Soft is kind of and like interesting to bring up Flash games right now when the fact that Flash ended like last week or the week before. Yeah, that kind of like, and again, this sounds like, I don't say it as a kind of like a slight or an insult to say, like, it feels a bit like a Flash. It's like the kind of animation you might see in Flash, I guess.
But I mean, like, again, what would you want that much more? I suppose is the question.
No, I'm not. It's not even. I'm just wondering more on a kind of like, what is it? How is it achievable? Like thinking of like a production. From a production point of view, of like, say, I don't know, like I'm not saying we do, and like, but like if we were kind of wanting to make a game like this, for instance, like is it the kind of thing where you can get someone, pay an artist to go away and make all these characters, and then you've got those assets, you get them in the game, and then you do like, I'm saying this in a very, like, I'm being very careful because I don't want to, like, someone probably worked really hard on, and I'm not trying to say it's bad, but yeah, so Dave Soft's kind of like artist, then animation artist.
Yeah.
Because ultimately at the base, like, you know, like like you're kind of saying, is the core of this is it's the cards. Right?
Yeah.
It's the and yeah, like Nacho's saying, it's the disconnection between these things and the background. Like, I guess that's what's standing out to me right now as I watch you playing it, is things feel quite disconnected.
Disconnect. Oh, okay.
In terms of it, to me, like that is what I'm seeing is like the kind of I don't feel like we're on a train.
No, like, I mean, like, yeah, like, no, you don't. I mean, there are other elements of the game where you might feel a little bit more train sense of train. You're a bit annoying up here because of Neither of these guys are going to die, so that's fine.
Efficiently diegetic. What does diegetic mean?
Kind of like, so a good example, like I'll give you an example which is slightly easier to explain something like that, where you know, like music in a film. Like, so diegetic music would you'd have like a car radio plays the music, and that's like diegetic music. Whereas non-diegetic music, you don't know where the music is coming from. It's just there. Speaking of music, I'm actually going to turn the volume down a little bit on this so I can hear you a bit better without shouting.
Okay.
So I've got a full train here. Trains that aren't trains. She's really messed with my whole tower defense setup because my tanky guys are behind when I don't want them behind. So that guy's dying, that's fine. These guys are dying, that's less fine. She has loads of health, so wondering if we can kind of try to keep this guy alive for longer.
Every time you cut her, she gets stronger. Is that right?
Well, so she's now relentless, so she will just fight until everybody dies here. So these guys, minus 24. I think, yeah, I want to do that. It makes him stronger, but it will kill him. This kills that guy. This guy's dying anyway, so really just want to try and pump as much regen into this last as I can. She's still going to die, but maybe she'll do something before she goes. Let's regen this guy. Okay. So my guys trigger stuff when you heal them, so that's why they're like, it's super good to heal those guys. They like have triggered effects. So she's gonna whop this floor, which is a bit unfortunate. You can also speed this up, so you can like, if you want to, I guess, because obviously that's just happened. So I'll put that at normal speed. So like now we're in this like boss fight. She's just gonna clear every floor.
So that's kind of interesting, isn't it? Because what you're basically saying is you can fast forward it up to the point where this just becomes a card game.
Yes. Agreed.
Okay, at some point it's like, again, I'll stop apologising because I think this is neat. Like, I think it's good. Like, when does it... What's happening here that you couldn't do on a... Is there anything happening here you couldn't do on a physical card game?
No. And there are some things in Hearthstone that you can't do in a physical card game. There might be some stuff here later that you can't do in a physical card game. The thing that, like, certain random outcomes that draw on... So the thing about Hearthstone is, because it's digital, like, they can do stuff like generate cards you don't own, in a game. Like, whereas in Magic, obviously, you can't do that. So, right, so I've just finished, like, a certain particular special boss, so I'm about to collect a bunch of rewards, so I will do that quickly. I will take this because it's going to be really good with my tanky fellas.
Nacho's on point this evening.
I really know if you lost your train. Yes. Keep them coming. Keep the train. Oh, this guy looks legit. Husky hermit. Keep the train puns coming, obviously. So you get an extra 5 per turn. Your pyre gets draw 1 extra. +1 capacity. Ooh. So this is enhancing my train. So more embers is okay, but I'm actually choosing a lot of free stuff at the moment. So I think I'm actually going to get more cards each turn and continue the freebie train. That might be a mistake. Like, more embers is like, whew, exciting.
So were you able to do these things on the left in a different order then?
Yes. Yeah.
It's interesting because like that's not overly communicated to
No,
you.
it's not. And it's actually, in a sense, it's completely unintuitive, right? Like you're on a train. So, what do trains do? They go from A to B in a pretty the most linear way.
Like, how much is the train really? Like, how much do they use the train thing really?
Well, I suppose in a sense it does give you that journey. But like where Slay the Spire is like, how much do they use the spire? Well,
Yeah,
not a lot, right? Like in a sense, it's just like a map of where.
I guess I kind of. The theme is the theme that important? The people that play these kind of games. Well, the people like
the people like me. Yes, yeah.
People like you. Like, how much does that matter to you versus the numbers and the cards? Like how much is that? I guess so. Like me looking at this I think it's cool. I like Slay the Spire, but then like I don't think I really got into it because it's kind of weird because you'd think that I wouldn't be like this, but like it all became about the numbers in a way, like or in my head. I don't know. Do you see what I'm trying to say?
So the thing I like about it, and the thing that like I like about all like these kinds of card games anyway. Ooh, deal 20 damage. We can definitely do that. Although Cultivate 2 is pretty legit. No, we're going to be explosive. It's the synergies, right? Like that's what's exciting is when you build your deck or refine your deck to a point where you can enjoy the synergies of what's going on. That's what really is exciting to me. So we got a ton of gold here, so I'm just gonna like buy some. Let's buy upgrade a unit.
Is that different to engine building, or is that very? It's that same kind of itch, right?
Yeah, no, it's same kind of jam. Yeah, definitely. That's a totally fine way of.
That's kind of like it's there's. What I like. The things that are going on. Things that have been going on in my head since we've been chatting and playing this, and. Like Dave's stuff kind of triggered it when he was talking about how like a key thing is thinking if you end up without any energy, if you've got loads of energy and you haven't spent it, you screwed up, maybe like, or you're not being
but you're not being
sorry?
efficient. Do you mean like the embers? Yeah.
Yeah, like you've got this energy left over, and I immediately thought, oh yeah, well like if you're playing Command and Conquer and you've got loads of ore like that, you should be spending that. Why aren't you spending that? That means you're screwing up. And you talk about how this is kind of like tower defense, and then it started making me think of how similar this whole thing is to like an RTS game, really. Of that managing resources, just it's happening. This is just an abstraction of that, right? Like it's like ultimately there's that same kind of feeling going on, and like the things that I enjoy in RTS games, and even in like Transport Tycoon, is like getting that engine going of my economy and me producing units and going and fighting. It's still the same kind of thing. It's I don't know. I'd like to think about how games are kind of have these similar cores. Am I making any sense?
I'm sure you are. I was concentrating just briefly there. Sorry. What did you say?
Like how similar, like the kind of core of this engine building and how it's in so many that we like.
Yes.
And I don't mean we as in like I mean me and you, right? I mean like
people generally.
Like the kind of games, not people generally, because like I don't think every game has like an engine building element to it, but like that's the core thing I enjoy in like a RTS game is building that engine.
Yeah.
And weirdly, like it's why I think I like parts of running like Pillbug is that it gives me those engine building vibes.
Okay, interesting. Yeah.
Like you're running it, like I kind of like, I mean, don't get me wrong, it can be demoralizing at times, but I like looking at all the analytics and seeing how over time you're building this kind of thing, and like how that is kind of that same engine building stuff. Even anything, like I think most things I do, that kind of like that feeling of you're building this. It's automation,
Yeah.
in a way. In a way, you're building automation in your cards, in your deck, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you're kind of obviously not completely automated. You're still deciding what cards to play, but
Yes, indeed. Yeah. Definitely still have choice, which is kind of nice.
Nacho is staying on track with the jokes.
With the puns, keep them choo coming. That wasn't a pun. That was just those were just words.
Yeah, so Dave, like Dave said, it's kind of talking about this idea of like 2D boards versus this is kind of like almost a 1D. It's not a one. It's like several. It is a tower defense game, right?
Yeah.
I should have bought a tower. I should have bought. I've been thinking a lot about tower defense games.
Okay. Any
like
particular
I should have
reason?
bought. Well, yes, because like. Yeah, like lots of reasons. Like, firstly, I was thinking.
Should have done that up there. My bad. Carry on.
I think we were chatting before stream. I was saying how I was struggling to find a game to really get into over the Christmas period. Other than I've been playing some Uncharted, but like I wanted a kind of PC game to get into, like a lean forward game. I would say rather than a lean back game. And I was thinking about They Are Billions, that game that we played. The one it's kind of like a tower defense game, really, but it's an RTS tower defense game. And I was thinking about that, and I kind of wanted a game like that. And it turns out there's not that many games like that, but people will point you to tower defense games. And the more I think about it, the more I kind of feel like a long time ago I almost dismissed tower defense games. Like, why would I buy tower defense games? Those are things you get on phones, right? Apart from, I played a lot of Plants vs Zombies. I thought was a great game.
The quintessential tower defense game.
Yeah. I guess the other thing is I was thinking, working on making it home and thinking how it's almost parts of it are turning into tower defense when we've been adding these kind of more active enemies.
Okay.
We have turrets. And, I'm not suggesting there is a direction we could have gone to make it much more tower defense on wheels.
Sure.
We're obviously not doing that now, but it made me think about those games and how I don't know. I guess I've been that maybe that's a thing that is a mechanic or this idea of an engine, building an engine in a way of defending yourself.
Yeah.
There, but it's been just coming. This idea of tower defense has been popping up in my head quite a lot. Yeah, exactly what Dave said. It's like sitting back and watching it work. It's the same, and making it home it is very running around, jumping around, doing stuff.
Right, we're gonna speed this up.
Okay, yeah, we kind of went quite actiony with Cycle 28 and making it home, didn't we? And
yeah. Ooh, +1 card each turn. That's Razzie Mataz. We can put that at the top and just ignore it. Quite like that idea. 30 health. Yeah, it's just too expensive. Yeah. So we're going to get +1 card each turn. Return a random consumed spell to your hand. Okay. I think I want to skip these guys. So, so we're here. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4 more. So I think if I press on, we might manage to get through this.
So is that the end of the game, or is that the?
I have no idea. I haven't got that far. So go this way. Gain an artifact. Let's just get some artifacts. Woo! Hello. Units cost 2 and minus 2 ember. Have a lot of rage, so let's Let's take that. So these artifacts, like just like in Slay the Spire, they totally break the game. In terms
What's
of how,
that?
like these artifacts along the top, they change
Yeah.
a huge amount, or at least can. Ooh, sting spells get plus 20 magic power. Now I want to say we've got a bunch of sting spells, don't we? Yes, we have a bunch of sting spells. Excellent. So I guess we buy that artifact.
I suppose that you couldn't do in a real card game, right? Because you'd have to go through and up. That would be really difficult to keep track of.
You'd have to have you'd have to bring outside of game cards, basically, wouldn't you? So and like certain games have tried to do that.
I guess that's where you kind of have a freer design space because you don't have to worry about that kind of, what do you call it, like like what's it called, housekeeping, or like what's it called? There's a term, isn't there? For like the bit where you have to kind of like do all of the messing around with your block.
Yeah, it's not upkeep because that's often a phase.
Administration, like it's what is it? Like there's a specific word that's like people use in board game reviews, and I can't remember what it is.
What is that?
I don't know. Like
Housekeeping? Yeah, it's not. I know exactly what you mean.
Yeah. It's like those games like Agricola. What's the game? Not Agricola, but the one that the guy who made Agricola made after Agricola, where there's like you have this big circle of cardboard in the middle that, like, depending on the season, it moves around, and like you have all these tiny little cards, and they like change into other tiny little cards, and there's so many resources that the little card resources have like two sides. God, what's it called? I'm gonna have to Google this now.
Look that up.
So.
Right, I did the bold thing here of choosing that like upgraded version of the whole thing.
Yeah.
Because I assumed like my deck is like feels quite nutty at this point. So I might live to regret that. We'll see. Can we fit in a Molten Imp? We can. So he's gonna deal. What the fuck is this guy's deal?
Ora Labora, that's the game.
I'll true run this unit for. Okay. So he's gonna get 10 armor if I kill this guy. Whereas this guy's gonna do a ton more damage. Oh, I can't fit him in there. Okay. 10 armor versus killing this dude. Does 5 damage. Probably worth it. That could be wrong. Let's shoot this guy. I'm gonna be annoyed if he survives.
So do you lose if they beat your ancient or your whatever that is?
Your
at the
heart
top?
at the top, your power at the top, which could be about to happen because these guys. These guys like.
Get the imp.
I will. Oh, yeah, well, I mean, I don't know. I was about to say I will, but none of these guys are dying along here. Which is bad news. 30 damage to the front enemy is kind of ridiculous, though.
You know what we need to do? We need a prediction.
A what? Sorry.
Prediction.
Yes, we haven't had one of these.
So, like, what are we going to do? A prediction that you get to the end of the bottom? How would we write that in a prediction?
No, because that's ages away. Like, the best prediction is Dave gonna die this particular encounter because he went too deep with the Harvesters of Death Heaven seal.
Yeah.
So enjoy putting that into a thing.
Will Dave make it?
He's definitely not gonna, because these guys just regenerate. Oh, what was I thinking? Oh my god, they're so brutal, these tanky dudes.
Okay, prediction is out there.
Uh-huh.
Will he make it out of this encounter?
There's absolutely no way I am. Okay, so that's like mana well spent. Ooh, actually, I will kill this guy now. Okay, that's legit. That is legit. I can't. Weirdly, I can't kill the imp. That's unfortunate. But it's good. Actually, I shouldn't kill the imp because this guy then gets 10 armor. Okay, restore 10 after combat. I can leave this guy around, I think, because he's just going to restore his health anyway. Okay, we're going to summon this guy at the top because I want... Pop him up there as well.
All in.
Who's moved all in?
Luke Lee is all in.
On me dying. Yeah,
maybe.
Yeah, that's probably fair enough. I've killed one of the tanks, so like it can clearly be done. Okay.
How many more? There's still more people to come in.
Oh yeah. Like I don't know how many. Waves remaining 3. There you go. Tells you there. I was about to say I don't know how many there are, but I definitely do. So we need to kill as much of this as possible. So this seems pretty legit. Man, that plus to my sting is kind of bananas, isn't it? So then I can do another 30 here. That kills that guy. It does make this guy stronger, but I'm just going to kind of accept that there's a... Ooh. Should I have done it here, though? That could have been a rookie mistake. Because I almost killed this guy.
You've got the Awaken Hollow there, so...
Yeah, I don't have any room on the bottom floors. It might be a point of killing this Molten Imp at some point. Because he's kind of like...
That's the reason you might kill your own person.
What? For lack of space?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's definitely the way. Like, I can't do it here because he costs too many pips. But like up here, like this Wildwood Custodian... I probably should have put him at the front rather than at the back. So yeah, I mean, like I am learning a lot about like this game, especially when it's a bit harder. I think that like I was probably on cruise control to begin with.
Yeah.
So this chick's gonna die when she goes up the next flight of stairs anyway, so I don't have to worry about that. This guy's so close to dead.
I think sometimes like these games for me there's too much thinking for me to play them on my own.
Oh, okay.
Which is kind of weird. I suppose like there's something when you play an RTS game or so, like because it's happening. I guess I try and play them almost like instinctively. Like or like I'm not because it's happening real time. I'm thinking the turn-based element means you're thinking really far ahead. I suppose it's almost like playing like Civilization or something, in a way.
Oh, this guy's just gonna brutalize me. Yeah. Okay, at least I can kill this one. So let's make sure. Still have to don't need it on that floor. So let's try it here. Does that change the mass of 70? It's close.
What did that do?
It restored his health, and this guy gets stronger. Like he buffs the other guy on his floor when he gets healed. Basically, when healed, even at full health, he will make this guy at the back stronger. So this is why this tag team works quite well, because he's like the tank and he's the one that's dealing the damage and he's like helping this guy out. So we're like, it's projecting 51 damage but I need to do 63. So we need to kill this guy. But if I double sting this guy dies. So what else have I got? Torches are rubbish. I don't know. Alright, let's see. I've got some mana to play with. So the moment this guy's taking 51, if I restore this guy, it only adds 2 damage, so that's not enough. I'm not clearing out either of these tanks. That's a bit of a problem. I think we just have to get rid of this guy. So he's going to die. So he's not going to make it to my pyre.
Yeah.
So close to killing this guy, but I'm not going to be able to.
Where your pyre is, or what? Oh,
So,
your pyre could fight.
pyre does fight, yeah. But like these guys are all, they heal every time they go up. So like he would go back up to 65 if I don't kill him this time. So that's what this kind of the thing, the hard mode challenge thing that I chose to do. That's what that's doing.
Okay. I forgot that you chose to do the hard.
Yeah, that's why I'm like, I'm so close. So this guy's almost dead. Which is
What do you get? What's your reward?
an extra artifact. I'd forgotten this guy does like loads of damage.
Even the UI there.
Sorry,
I just noticed those artifacts. The way that they're shown there is like Slay the Spire.
Yeah, oh yeah, like I would be the first to say like this game is essentially Slay the Spire. Like there's absolutely no doubt. Right. So I think again, have I got double sting here? I don't have double sting. Bummer. So let's put this back.
How many other roguelike card games like this are there?
Oh, they are legion, right? Surely there's like
they?
many,
Like-
many of them. I would have thought so these days. Right.
Yeah. No. Wikipedia only has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
8? Really? Is that it? There must be plenty, like quite a lot in development.
I don't know. So Dicey Dungeons, Nowhere Prophet, Griffland, Slay the Spire, Hand of Fate. Have we played Hand of Fate?
Don't think so.
No. And Dream Quest.
Okay, I think.
Hey,
I
Frozen.
Nuke my.
Frozen, you know. How many how many of these kind of style card games do you think there are? Like roguelite.
Oh no, because it gets
Card.
10. Oh my god. Okay. All right.
Are you losing here? Are you winning?
Is it bad that you can't tell? Like, does it affect our enjoyment of the stream if you don't know that? Alright, okay. So here's what we gotta do. We just gotta buff this guy up to the 9s. Still not enough to kill that dude. This guy's gonna get through. I think I have to sting this floor just so I get an extra card next turn. It's just none of it's good, Sean. None of it's good.
It's weird that all the people at the bottom are just kind of sat there like,
Yeah, they get like a brief respite.
yeah.
Oh god, so that did a lot of damage to my power, but my power killed it. Right, okay, so this guy is the
That's the final
boss.
final?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I hope he doesn't heal. I think oh no, it's non-boss. Okay, that's good. Okay, so let's
Yes, this is Dave's first time playing it. Pretty much, yeah?
Yeah, like I played one run for like 3 tiers just to get a sense of how that so that you wouldn't be watching me like, how do I click this? But so we stung that guy. Let's heal here because she does 20 when she does that. Fuck, Sean, I forgot there was a guy up here.
There's a guy up there.
There's a guy up there, Sean.
Can you? Is there a way of swapping people around?
There are cards that do that.
Right. Yeah.
So I maybe should have killed that guy. Oh well. Right. So every time this guy's healed, it's dealing 20 damage, which is kind of legit. I'll pop that. So, like, that means this guy's going to get up to my pyre and deal it a bunch of damage, which is unfortunate. But we did do a lot of damage to the boss. So I think I'm going to survive this because my pyre is pretty badass. But My pyre took a ton of damage this run.
Oh, but yeah.
But I mean, I don't know how relevant this is to the I mean, this just wins. So I'm just going to play cards because it's fun to play cards. Just healing this guy, buffing this guy up, and.
So are you saying you're going to make it out of this encounter?
I am.
Or you're not?
I just did, son. So despite my belly aching, did someone lose some dust on that?
Someone did lose some dust on that.
Sweet.
All their dust.
Wow, someone did not believe in me.
Yeah, well, Dave, so let the predictions result. Yes, you did make it out of this encounter, right?
I guess, yes. I guess I did.
Yeah, okay.
That's interesting. Restore 1 health.
Are you sure yes is the correct outcome?
I don't know, you tell me. You're the one that made it.
Yeah.
I don't think I need invigorating solutions.
That feels... I didn't like clicking that button.
I do quite like Channel Song. To make someone kind of ridiculous. But all my guys are free. So that's kind of interesting. Engraft. Restore 1 health. Oh, okay. Yeah, I quite like Engraft. Let's try that. Consume, apply 3 rage.
No one thought... Usually, like... Yeah, I suppose you can feel less bad because you won. Whereas normally, I let people down.
Yes, you do. Yeah, I wasn't going to bring that up. I wasn't going to do that, but you're right. We're definitely going down this route because I want to restore pyre health, right? Because we took a beating that turn. Remove 2 cards, so we're still in the process of getting rid of our stewards.
Clearly, Dave has been training in secret. Nice.
So we don't have much gold here because I've spent a lot of them. So yeah, let's get some more health on the unit. This guy looks like he needs more health. Okay, so I'm pushing through a little bit quicker because obviously I took my time on that one. I don't get to choose the whole extra stuff, which is probably good. So this is Alabaster Guardians have multi-strike. Fel empowers units with rage. I don't know what Fel is, but cool. The hell? Okay, it's just got a little real. These guys immobile, can't move between floors. Okay, interesting. Or change position. Attacks 2 times each turn, but doesn't have any attack. So I'm guessing these guys will get buffed by something at some point. So that's terrifying. This artifact that makes all my dudes cost nothing is ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Let's put that there. Multi-strike guy here. That's bananas. You can go up here. And I'm guessing I kind of want to drop another one up here as well. What are you laughing at?
Just like the... Well, the idea that people don't often win predictions very much.
Predictions, no, they really don't. Cultivates. Okay.
Still just making up for that time that Luke Lee beat you on a high score. What do you remember you were streaming and you were really proud of getting high up when you were playing Making It Home?
That sounds like me. Yeah.
And the next time you checked, Luke Lee had actually got better.
Yeah, that all sounds dangerously plausible. Just when you play spell. Okay, so he's got better when we play spell. So if I imp here.
So Frozen was saying he plays it on mobile through the xCloud. Is that, are you playing it on your phone, Frozen? I think. It's so because if you pay for, is it Xbox Ultimate, you can stream all the Game Pass games to your phone.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So yeah. So how I wondered about like how well they do that kind of switch from on your PC to working on a phone. Like this one clearly probably works well.
Yeah.
Because it like presumably touch, you can just go touch the mouse, but
Go touch the mouse, Sean.
mouse, yeah, you know, like
Don't do that at home, kids. Don't go touching your mouse at home. Right.
That's literally what the mouse is for.
Well, yeah, it's for touching. It's all touching all the time. Okay, so that's a bunch of damage there. This guy gets stronger. He's almost dead though. It would be nice to kill this guy. Oh, against 10 armor. Okay. Attacks all enemies. Kind of want to deal something about that. So let's go ahead and heal everybody here. Some of these spells are ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Let's sting this guy to death. And we can sting this guy to death. So restoring this guy just like actually does 20 straight up there. My god, I've built a monster. The only problem is this guy gets stronger with spells.
So that boss that's outside the train.
Yes, sorry, yes. He will just
all about.
He will fight when whichever floor he's on. He'll just randomly fight, but he's not properly strong until he spawns as a boss fight kind of thing.
Yeah. So like I don't know if you're kind of like in fact this kind of proves the point. Is like Frozen was saying there was something you didn't quite like about this, and numbers getting really hard to manage, and like you seem quite. I don't know, like obviously you're very in, like your headspace is in the numbers right now, right?
I don't know. Funnily enough, my friends who occasionally watch the stream and have played card games with me will laugh at this. But I tend to play these games, and there's a risk that this is going to sound pretty kind of pretentious. I tend to play these games on instinct far more than I do by the numbers. I'm not, you know me, Sean, I'm not a maths guy, right? Like I don't mass things out as much as I should in like any walk of life. So what I tend to be doing is actually kind of feeling my way through what makes sense.
I do remember when I came around your house and you were playing Slay the Spire on your Switch.
Yeah.
Watching you do that at the speed you were doing it at was like, I'm guessing that's what you mean by instinctively, like that you were just like.
Yeah, and
I wasn't playing, so I hadn't played it myself at the time, and so like it was just like, what are you even doing?
You even do it, yeah. Well, that's fair enough. I mean, it's a complicated game to just randomly watch, right? Like, so that probably wasn't ideal.
So, and do you think part of that is kind of almost going back to what we were saying about earlier, where you immediately get what these rules mean?
Yeah.
Relate back to, I guess, right, going all the way back to like you relate it almost back to Magic, right? Or
yeah, for sure. Like I played Magic competitively for about 12 years or something dumb. And like there's obviously huge amounts of differences between these games, but there's also like a common language. I think it's fair to say. Do I need to do anything up here? Yeah, that's the other person. So yeah, like that means I can play some of these things instinctively, but it means I will mess up. Like I will definitely make mistakes, whereas players who are careful and considerate and will like spend the time thinking it through will make much better plays.
Yeah. I think sometimes like I kind of have a similar feel. Like I'm playing Uncharted at the moment, and it's gonna feel like, how is that related to this? But the way I'm enjoying playing that is kind of running through at full speed without thinking, just kind of like feeling the level. And like I think actually Uncharted, I've always thought Uncharted is a really cool, like almost like a platforming game. Platforming, like the things I really enjoy is climbing in that game, and like just moving through the environment. And so I will just run like I will just go through it and like instinctively without looking around every corner. I'm kind of almost just like get into that flow.
Sure.
Guess. And is that where you think you're getting? Is that when you say instinctively? Like, is that what's happening? Are you getting into your flow? Like, because you play Hearthstone. Do you still that you play Hearthstone?
I still play Hearthstone far more than I should. Yes.
And sorry, I didn't mean to agree with you. I'm sure you don't really play.
I do play Hearthstone more than I should.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I think so. You could talk about it and make it sound like impressive and stuff, but really what it is that the way I prefer playing kind of complex card games is through like an understanding of role and kind of taking a position, rather than crunching any numbers in any given time. So like if I'm playing an aggressive deck, for instance, I will know intrinsically that the way I win any given battle or any given game is to be the aggressor, to play aggressively. Now, obviously, I still understand that 3 as a number is higher than 2, and if I bash my 3 into your 2, there's a chance I'm going to, I will come out on top. But when these games get more and more complicated and the board states get incredibly complicated, that's where I lose a lot compared to a lot of other players who will intrinsically kind of, in the same way that I'm terrible at chess, for instance, like I don't think far enough ahead, I don't run the numbers per se, whereas I will understand things like metagames, I will understand that my position in response to your choices and things like that. I just don't like doing maths, I think, is the key.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's yeah. I think and that's in a way like partly why I fell off kind of games like WoW. Because I felt like it came down to, and say that like I played flipping Eve.
Yeah, you did.
But then I was really bad at it because I was doing things for fun, not things that made the numbers bigger. Which meant I was progressing really slowly. Yeah. So yeah, Dave Soft mentioned Assassin's Creed is like a great flow, and like, yeah, like he's absolutely right. Like that's a real like the combat and even the combat moving around, very clever, like making you feel good moving through an environment. I kind of played some of them, but more recently, I just find the length and size of those games intimidating. Like, and they're just too much time to kind of. I don't know why. Like, I think I don't know. Like, I find when I see the length of a game now, and I see it's like really long, I'm like, it just puts me off more than anything.
Right, I'm going for another trial run. Non-boss enemies are slightly stronger. Do you want to run another prediction?
Yeah, let's do a prediction.
This one I think I've got a better shot at beating. So those of you who are a little...
okay, I'll just do the same prediction then. Will Dave make it out of this encounter?
Yeah.
We'll do 2 minutes or 1 minute submission period.
Probably 1 minute, because like 2 minutes, there's a chance I could have died or won before then. So this has just meant that like non-boss units are stronger.
Yeah. I think that's why like I'm starting. Yeah, I'm buying like it's this weird thing of like when I had time to play games, I couldn't afford as many. You know?
Yeah.
Ooh.
It's a strong start. Strong start, everyone.
Got a yes. We've got 5,000 points on yes.
This guy not getting any cultivates. Interesting. Oh, it does. Okay, cool. Just at the end. 5,000 points on yes. What, like that?
Everyone's saying yes. This isn't good for you.
This isn't good for me. Or like.
No.
Oh.
No, because like you know what this means?
What, that I have to win?
No, that you're gonna lose because everyone's voting yes.
Oh,
like,
I see. Yes, in terms of how we work. Yeah. No, fair enough.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. Okay. Oh, okay. Let's pop you at the top. Okay. This guy's got.
Yes. So I Frozen, I saw your tweet where you talked about this of like, was it beating a game every month? Of I kind of have those. I usually have these little contracts with my contracts is a silly way of saying it, but like I will tell myself, right, I'm not buying another game until I've beat this one, and that's how I kind of get through a lot of games. Is just saying like, yeah, I beat this before I get the next one, and it's a cool thing to do.
Oh god, okay, let's kill this guy.
There's a lot of games now though, like a lot of like say the indie games is like particularly like they don't necessarily have a very defined end point, like when do you beat it. So everyone's voted yes, Dave. So everyone's...
Is yes good?
Yes means that you win. So like, do people? Yeah.
I mean, my deck. My deck guess you didn't know what... absolutely nutty. In fairness, like this seems like playing on easy mode at this point. Like I don't see how whatever this opponent is trying to do is ever going to be enough. My champion is just bananas. That's the problem, and I'm drawing so many free spells.
Problem? You mean that the...
Well, I mean it's funny. Yeah, okay. So I think of that as a problem. It's like if something is too good in a card game, it's a problem. Because it's not producing a good gaming experience. Like this is just like
you're just clicking buttons and the numbers again.
Yeah, well, I mean, like I'm not having to do anything.
Game, right? Like this is just
Okay, so presumably the boss has got to be pretty scary. So let's try and kill the boss.
800. That seems like a lot. That's a big number, isn't it?
Like a lot. And it's definitely like this will kill my.
I thought what was the modifier? Wasn't it that like the other enemies were stronger?
They got +8 attack. Non-boss enemies got +8 attack, which was not that impressive. Like it was.
Did any of them get on the floor?
No. Well, no. So yeah, that was not impressive. Do I want to
Easy
make this
point.
So there's absolutely no way we're going to do 6. We tramples. That's quite scary. So I'm wondering if I buff. Well, we do that obviously. I'm wondering if I buff these guys rather than try and deal 40 damage. 40 damage is so much though. So it's got to be better to just kind of keep doing this. So he's going to kill my champion. Going to go through the bottom layer, but he's like, oh my god, he's down to like 8. No, we just killed him. I thought it was suggesting that he was gonna win that fight, but
look at this. You didn't let people down.
Yes. You're welcome, everyone. Oh, and I've got a new clan. A new clan. The Ancient Guard of the Stygian Sea.
Yes. Complete prediction.
Yeah. Mystical Sirens and Ancient Totems. Do love me a good totem. Okay. Apply one rooted to an enemy unit. Okay, interesting. Prevents a unit from moving between floors. That's pretty reasonable. But this just... Again, this is kind of my engine. Like, I'm just drawing cards and...
So how far off you completing a run?
Let's have a look. You're right. That's a good question. I must be pretty close, right? Like, I feel like I've... Yeah, there we go. So...
Was that Oh, is this the next? Oh,
So I got one here, then
Yeah.
this fight, and then whatever this is. So I'll just quickly go through here. Don't need. I do like removing cards, but I think we're.
because yeah, Frozen says it really gets rolling.
Oh,
Was that a
okay.
train?
I hope that was a train pun.
Yeah, I hope so.
Let's remove some cards. Right. What are we removing at this point? I'm actually not removing any cards. Yeah, this guy's not been good.
So I kind of I don't know if I maybe talked about this on stream or whether I was just talking to you, but I bought this train game, Transport Fever 2.
Oh, okay.
I think I put it on stream, giving me a bit of a headache. But
Okay.
like I was playing it and really getting into it, and thought, you know what, I'm gonna have 2 trains on my train. I made this train line and thought, right, I'm gonna have 2 trains on it, and I screwed up all the level thingy. What's it? The signals. Signal.
Easy
What are they
for you
called?
to say, dude.
Yeah, signals.
Okay,
Yeah,
that's a shame.
the train traffic lights. And
Yeah.
to the point, and I set it all going. I was really proud of what I set up, and then I had 2 trains facing each other, and they couldn't do anything. So I was like, oh, screw it. So then I thought, I'll go play what I know. I downloaded Open Transport Tycoon Deluxe, played that for ages while drinking a nice brandy hot chocolate, and then I thought, I want 2 trains on my train line. And I spent ages setting them all up, and same thing again. 2 trains facing each other, not knowing what to do. Oh, so
I think this is like, yeah, the end is near. Cleanse of the effects bit. Okay, so Seraph will remove half of any buff and debuff effect stacks. Okay, interesting. I
Okay,
don't think
right.
That's a problem for me.
I think this is going to be another prediction because this feels like a bit more.
Like a boss fight.
Yeah, will Dave make it out of this encounter? So same again.
Nice and easy. Made it so
Yeah.
easy for you, this kind of game.
Yeah, just click the button.
Yeah.
You like that last encounter for you.
Yeah.
Just click the button.
Click that buttons. Okay, so I did, like I said to you, you don't get your champion at the start every time. I didn't think you did, but I seem to have got it every time, right? Like, okay, so okay. This team was almost unstoppable last time. So I think we're gonna.
Ooh, there's a split vote.
Split?
Yeah.
Which part of the what you just saw did makes you think I might not do this? Like, I'm confused. Clearly.
It was, yeah. The we got 47% on yes, 53% on no.
53%. Someone likes losing dust. I'm not gonna lie, because there is no way I am not making it out of this encounter. I feel bad confident.
Like 999 health. That's pretty high.
Like the way this stacks, I mean, this is gonna get out of hand very quickly. Whereas I can just pick these guys off without, yeah, we should probably just stack these up here. And I probably want to play these guys up here just to get them out of my deck. Although I would have liked to put him up there. Well, someone dies. No one's gonna die though.
Apart from that poor person you killed.
Yeah. Anybody I deal with myself, they might die.
Yeah.
I mean, this is I might kill the boss fight before the end. I don't know. I don't want to get too cocky, but this seems like a done deal every end. Like, that guy just died before he even arrived on my train. Sorry?
That didn't sound cocky at all.
This is a done deal. Forget about it. Forget about it.
You can see the station.
Yeah. Oh shit. I even restored on the wrong guy. On that guy.
Did you just heal?
I healed that guy. Yeah. So there's that. I did just do that.
Don't play with your food. Have you even got to the point where... So on these things, the boss outside the train is constantly there. Can you attack it?
Yeah, you can. Yeah. Sorry, I don't know why I'm wasting time here. Just kill everyone.
Use your instinct.
Use your instinct. Yeah, you're right. So the reason I'm doing this is because it buffs the guy behind. So it's kind of like worth it, just in case something crazy happens. But I'm really confident that this is
like there's leaves on the track.
Yeah, anything could happen.
What does STS stand for? The STS format.
Slay the Spire.
In the Spire format, yeah. Okay. See, yeah, I suppose I kind of thought of that as that's the kind of, what would you call it? Like the root game for this style, right?
Mm-hmm. Well, it's definitely the one that like brought it to its prominence, right? Like everybody.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. There's that game you played, the story one. I did mention it earlier. What's it? Griftlands.
Yeah.
Which I thought was kind of interesting.
Yeah, that added another element to it. I mean, I guess what this does is it adds tower defense to Slay the Spire. Griftlands adds story to Slay the Spire.
Is this kind of like? Did you play the Valve, the Dota card game?
Oh god, no! Like that had such a bad rep. Like,
yeah.
I didn't even look into it. Was it Artifact or something like that? Is that?
Well, like.
Was it?
I mean, I thought the idea was that there were 3 lanes, like in Dota.
Yeah.
But this was 3 lanes, right? Like, in a way.
Yeah.
So I wonder how much this has in common with that. Oh, did you just win?
I did. Again, like my deck's just like there must be stuff like there's some guys that get really strong if you play too many spells on the same floor. Like a whole set of them would be potentially problematic because my deck was just about playing like a ridiculous number of spells.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. That's
okay.
a yes.
So yeah. And we've unlocked something called a Covenant rank 1. Don't know. Higher challenge levels, mastering cards on victory. Blah 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 blah. Hell yeah! So yeah, there we go. That's like a run through.
So what's the thing that happened? What's the thing that changed? What changes now then? Like just a.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
What's the deal?
What's the deal? So I unlocked a new clan. So that's now like a whole set of cards. Basically, usually it's like. More cards, right? So now I've unlocked this cards for the Unwoken clan. There's a new clan. There's another artifact that's unlocked here by the looks of it. So it unlocks some stuff. And what you hope for, and certainly happens in Slay the Spire, and I'm pretty confident that it will happen here as well, is that this will unlock new strategies so that you can play through that run without just replicating exactly what I did the last time. That's where the game loop gets you, right? That's where the addictive aspect of a game like this will come from. If so even like my allied clan gets to level up, and you know what leveling up means. It's all terribly exciting. So
I've heard of it.
Yeah, you've done it once or twice.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's probably, again, like I haven't even seen this side of things. Like, okay, so you can see like how much of the cards are there to be discovered. what are these? Okay, so you can look at the cards, the champions, different champions, so on and so forth. Artifacts, a bit like what Hades, right? Like you can just have a look and check at what you've done. One thing that I was a bit confused about was that there was mention of multiplayer.
Right.
So I don't like. So if you go into the main menu here, you got like challenges, race other players, and timed multiplayer runs. And when I picked it up in the Game Pass, it shows like players 2 to 8 or 1 to 8 or whatever. So I was like, okay,
yeah. Sometimes I find with the Game Pass. So one thing I would say that we struggled like. So we like a bunch of a group that I tend to play games with online. Like we all had Game Pass, and like trying to figure out which of the games actually had multiplayer from the store page was really difficult. Because sometimes it would say things like that, but actually it was like local multiplayer or something.
Okay.
Which is kind of slightly different. What's the community challenge thing?
So play online with friends and strangers. So like what I don't know is like how that works. Like that would be really interesting. So community challenge is enter a share code to view challenge details.
I've been thinking like now that I've figured out workshop support for making it home, I've been thinking about this. Like creating like a challenge of, hey, make of it that you're limited to these vehicles. So it's like this idea of do a run with these vehicles, and even set up like we could automatically set up leaderboards for each thing. Would be relatively straightforward. The most difficult thing is the UI, actually. That's probably the. But I don't know. Like, what's the best vehicle you can make with bellows and like propellers, for example?
Sure.
You could create a challenge and stick it to them.
So Dave Soft, I just want to make sure that are there any water clans? Melting Remnant looks a little watery, maybe. Although the Stygian Guard did say something about like stuff and things. How do I actually get to other clans? Here we go. Okay, I haven't looked at that, but yeah, there's probably a water clan or a water-ishy clan. But yeah, those challenges, like there's a lot there, obviously. There's like a daily challenge. Melting Remnant, there we go. Primitive mold. Scores, if you're into this kind of thing. Like there's like go nuts, right? Like as much as you want to do. I'm sure I will play more of this. Absolutely no doubt. I like this kind of game. I played Slay Spire mostly on my Switch though, so I don't know if like this being on the same machine that lets me play Hearthstone. Like I don't know, maybe I'll get to a point in the Hearthstone month where I'm like, I will play some Monster Train instead. I don't know, but to scratch that itch. But this has been Monster Train. It's very polished. It's nicer looking than Slay the Spire, if that's the kind of thing that bothers you. I think more like some of the Slay the Spire, some of the Slay the Spire's aesthetics puts people off. Put it that way.
Right. Okay.
It's never bothered me. I kind of like the lo-fi look. I don't mind the cartoony look that Monster Train has as well. But I would say some of the elements on Monster Train have been polished to a shine in a way that, like Slay the Spire, they're just a bit more functional. And that, for some people, that will make a difference. That will matter. Like, some people really like the fact that, like, in Monster Train, you're setting up, like, you have, like, multiple characters, whereas Slay the Spire, obviously, it's just you as a character and your cards, whereas some people prefer that kind of, I've got one character and it's me against the world kind of thing. So I think, like, they're the same but different enough to, like, if you like deck building, you might end up saying, well, actually, I prefer one over the other.
Yeah.
I mean, I played Slay the Spire on my Switch to the point where, like, I had 2 or 3 achievements still to go, and they were just like, I just like was like, that's probably enough for me. I don't.
You left it with just 2.
I don't know if I'll come back to Monster Train for that much. Maybe I will.
Yeah.
Maybe I will. And yeah, like as Dave stuff says, like hero card upgrading, like that's kind of interesting. Like that, this game does have upgrading cards and things like that, and it's an extra layer of customizability. But yeah, so there we go. Monster Train, no big surprises. It's my kind of jam. And I'll be looking at some other stuff on Game Pass since I've picked that up recently. Spiritfarer was one that we thought we'd maybe check out on stream.
Yeah.
Heard good things about that.
Yeah, maybe I'm going to put you on the spot here about what we should do next week.
Okay.
I think we should be pirates next week.
Yar. Okay. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah.
We're doing some what's it called?
The piratey one. Sea of Thieves.
Sea of Thieves. Let's do some Sea of Thieves next week.
Okay, cool. I will make sure I have that ready and prepped.
Yeah, me too. But thanks, Dave. This was cool.
Cool, man. Yeah, thanks, everyone. Where can people find us, Sean, very quickly?
People can find us on pillbog.zone, and you should follow us on Twitch if you don't already, and you'll find out when we go live and play Pirates next week.
Pirates. All right.
Yeah. Cool.
Bye, everyone.
See you later.